On today's episode, Tesla reveals their new Megafactory in China, the first Supercharger V4 station opens up for all EV users, and Tesla is expanding their Fremont, California factory. Tesla has just announced that they will build a second dedicated Megapack factory, this one in Shanghai, China, located close to their existing Gigafactory and also their battery production partners, CATL. On April 9th, the local Chinese administration signed the deal to allow Tesla to create a large facility to expand their energy storage business into Asia. Construction is due to begin in Q3 of this year, with production likely to start in Q2 of 2024. Tesla has already begun opening up job listings for the new site, continuing the company's tradition of moving at light speed once a project has been announced. The plan is to ramp up production in Shanghai to hit 10,000 units per year or 40 gigawatt hours of storage as quickly as possible. In a tweet announcing the deal, CEO Elon Musk said that this new factory would be supplementing the output of Tesla's current Megapack facility in Lathrop, California, which is also attempting to ramp up production at the moment. But given that the Shanghai facility is projecting a 10K per year output and Tesla's history in the area is one of fast growth, it's likely going to be doing more than just supplementing Lathrop. The Chinese government is spending a lot of money on projects meant to shift their massive country's energy needs away from fossil fuels, and it definitely didn't escape their notice that countries like Australia, Hungary, Belgium, Britain, and the US have all been building successful Megapack battery farms to supplement their aging power grids. Megapacks are Tesla's big commercial energy storage product. They are large cabinets filled with batteries, similar in concept to the company's Powerwall for home backup storage, but on a much bigger scale. Private and public entities have been setting up farms of Megapacks to stabilize their energy grids because just one unit has enough storage to power about 3,600 homes for an hour, and their strength is in their modularity. Packs can be added or taken away, customizing the amount of storage available. And so, with the success of these large Megapack facilities, Tesla has decided to ramp up production to meet all this new demand, even taking a large chunk of their Investor Day presentation on March 1st to discuss their plans for expansion. So, even before the California facility gets fully running, it's likely that the Shanghai Megapack factory will be extremely busy with supplying the Asian market for similar projects to the ones running in other parts of the world. It wouldn't be surprising to see Shanghai hitting their 10K mark in record time. That said, the California Megafactory does have a head start, and they are putting out a good number of Megapacks already. The factory in Lathrop opened up in late October last year and has been steadily building production up to the goal of 10,000 units per year, just like what Tesla wants with the new Shanghai facility. Drone flyovers back in February show 86 Megapacks in the yard, only 10 days after a similar flyover counted 41. So it looks like Lathrop is producing anywhere from roughly 4 units per day all the way up to 10 after just 3 months of progress. The number to hit to make 10K Megapacks per year would be about 27 per day. Meanwhile, new Megapack projects keep being built around the world. The most recent one was shown off by Tesla on April 10th and shows the Cal Flats project in Monterey County, California. This site is home to one of the largest solar farms in the state and powers Apple's California facilities as well as some of the surrounding communities. Combined with these solar farms, this facility can reportedly power up to 100,000 homes annually on pure renewable energy. Currently, Tesla's site says the waiting list for Megapack purchases is stretched into 2024, which makes this new Shanghai facility seem like even more of a good idea. If the Megapack orders were backlogged into 2024 before the Lathrop facility was even fully up and running, imagine how much more work must be on the horizon from the Asian market. Reports from California show that Tesla has purchased half of an old UPS warehouse facility in Hayward, close by to the company's factory in Fremont. The over 148,000 square foot space was part of an industrial distribution facility and would likely be fit for just about any purpose Tesla could want it for. But that begs the question, what are they going to do with this space? Tesla hasn't said anything yet, of course, if they ever will. This sort of purchase happens occasionally, and if it's just one for the use of storing parts and products, then why make a big announcement about it, right? California isn't even the only place they've made purchases like this recently, though. Back in January, Tesla leased a 1 million square foot building in Houston, Texas, and opened job ads focusing on logistics and production control positions for that area. A few months before that, in October 2022, the company leased a 440,000 square foot warehouse in San Antonio, Texas, and a 660,000 square foot warehouse just outside St. Louis, Illinois. So, what's going on here? It's possible that some of these facilities, like the one in California and Houston, could be used as a temporary manufacturing area while the expansion at Giga Texas and the construction of Giga Mexico are completed. Tesla has signaled since last year that they anticipate a steep climb in demand for their products this year, so having some extra space for even temporary production lines could make sense. But while that's likely something they've thought of and could potentially do with these properties if they run into trouble later this year, it's much more likely that these are all going to be storage for the expected ramp-up of their existing production lines. Giga Texas will have its Cybertruck manufacturing start in just a couple months. The Megafactory in Lathrop is likely going to need more storage before the year is out. Giga Shanghai and Giga Berlin will be sending products back and forth to the US to help Tesla's facilities there make use of the Inflation Reduction Act benefits, and Giga Mexico will likely be doing the same once it gets going in a year or two. It's pretty clear that if Tesla hadn't started buying up extra warehouse space last year, they were going to be in a lot of trouble logistically once all this new production started filling their parking lots. Now, there's not much use in having facilities that can pump out 5,000 cars per week or 10,000 megapacks per year if you can't move them out fast enough. Tesla's first V4 supercharging station in Europe is now open to all EV drivers, according to an April 8th announcement on Twitter. The station in Harderwijk, Netherlands added the new charging docks in mid-March. The V4s were highly anticipated by Tesla users even before we knew how fast they'd be, and judging from the rating stickers on their cases, these chargers can do about 600 kilowatts of charging speed at max, although the Tesla app says that the max is actually 250 kilowatts, which is the max for the V3 stations, so either the app hasn't updated yet or the V4s are capped since there aren't many vehicles outside of the Tesla Semi that could make use of that high a charging rate. All Tesla Superchargers and vehicles shipped to Europe are equipped with CCS charging as standard, allowing EV drivers who used other brands to plug their cars in at any Tesla charging station. It's clear that this announcement is a part of a larger move by Tesla to conform to industry standards in the wake of sweeping green energy initiatives like the American Inflation Reduction Act, which has mandated that no company will receive government grants and tax breaks if they don't make their technology open to the entire electric vehicle market. And that's a little rough for Tesla, who likes to hold their tech to their own standards, but it's really the best move if we are going to move drivers away from ICE vehicles in a timely manner. Not everyone is going to buy a Tesla, unfortunately. But more to the point, this move in the Netherlands is just one station, but Tesla now has over 45,000 supercharger stations the world over, making them the most prolific EV maker in the world by a wide margin. Equipping their stations with CCS chargers would make sense even without these incentives, as it would take some time to get the industry to start using Tesla's North American charging standard devices. There is apparently some controversy over allowing non-Tesla drivers to use the new V4 docks, but it's likely a minority of the community. Tesla themselves are going pretty hard on the get humanity off fossil fuel trains this year, and especially after their Investor Day presentation in March, I doubt there are many Tesla fans who are actually upset at this move to include CCS users. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up today if you liked it. That is so important for getting our content out to more people. If you enjoy the content, then you'd probably also enjoy our weekly newsletter, so sign up with the link down below at theteslaspace.com. A huge thank you to all of our Patreon supporters who are listed on the screen now. You help us make the best content we can, and we really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.